and she might not care as much. So I think it's a very good user game. We should mention that actually 1W are playing the Doom carry and the Abaddon offlane, right? And
Yes.
that leaves me wondering, what is this Abaddon going to be buying in the game? Is he still going to go for Radiance, or is there some other build on this hero that we're not thinking about, right?
I mean, could you go some kind of crazy Manta Diffusal build?
It's maybe, but it's just the hero does not farm that fast that you're gonna get the timing online fast enough for it to matter against Medusa. That's the main issue, I think. It works on paper, but not in practice. Yeah, I actually don't know. I think this is the main problem, having Doom and Abaddon. Maybe you just go double Radiance. It doesn't have to be that bad. It's just a lot of gold going into a farming item, right? So 2 heroes buying this item, I don't know. They might have a weak mid game at that point. But yeah, let's see. I don't know if you can go for some kind of more supporting Abaddon with like drums and Crimson Guard type of thing. Let's see.
No, it's good. No, it's going to be interesting to see what approach they have here. 1W, but yeah, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, getting into the action. Just a reminder, this is the lower bracket of the Western European TI qualifiers. Loser of this series is out. It's the end of the road for them towards TI, so very important stuff to play for here. And of course, Yellow Submarine, they ended up down here in the first round of the lower bracket. I believe we're getting knocked down by Na'Vi Jr., but their run of the lower bracket just looked very strong. 1W, they did get knocked down yesterday by Na'Vi Jr. as well. So interesting to note, yeah, both teams are down here in the lower bracket due to Na'Vi Jr. Difference being 1W did manage to take one game off Na'Vi Jr. So now let's see how things go here where they're head-to-head.
They were also pretty far ahead in the other game, I think I saw. I actually thought, okay, one win is actually going to take it. And I went to do something else, and then it turned out Na'Vi Jr. took it in the end. But they were up quite a bit of gold, so maybe they can win this game on the back of being a superior team to Yellow Submarine. But I do think the draft looks very good for Yellow Submarine.
Yeah. I think there's definitely going to be a point of this game where... see this good skewer up top one to Kasani. They're going to drop the blood grenade to try and chase him down. See if they can finish off the kill. Looks like they don't want to waste time chasing into the trees, so no first blood to be found quite yet. But yeah, if it ends up sort of being a game where we're seeing this Medusa get free farm and you know, get to this sort of point, 15 minutes in or so when they're 2k ahead of any other carry or any other core, then there's going to be a problem for 1W. Obviously, it should be unlikely because Doom as a carry should be able to stay ahead unless something crazily bad happens for him in the early stages here, Munkushi. You know, Doom should be able to play the advantage and kind of have that lead.
I think another thing that's often overlooked, or at least not really mentioned as much with the Medusa, is her team fight is really strong. Just with the fact that she has the Stone Gaze, it's such a long duration, right? It's let's say she's level 12, right? It's 5.5 seconds where you actually cannot look at this hero, and this just adds to a lot more team fight for the draft. And they already have the Mag, the Wheel of Wonder, and the Pengular Roll, right? So they just have this overwhelming amount of team fight later on. And when you look at the 1W, they don't have that. A lot of skirmishes going on here top lane.
Yeah, Inferno keeps getting some pretty nice skewer backs, but each time they just don't quite have enough damage to finish off a kill. Yeah, between the two of them up here on Yellow Submarine. And mid lane, very even at the moment here. Both Squadix and Morel getting similar amounts out of the matchup. But, if you just look at the CS across the board, it's just a bit of a slower start for Munkushi. Out of all the cores, not having as easy of a time. We'll see actually Lupsi very low. He's going to die for this one. No Fairy Fire is going to be saving him. So playing a little too greedy there, Lupsi, with how far he was stepped forward and on how low HP he was to try to mess around with that pull. Gives up first blood to Munkushi.
I think that's also part of the reason why Bane is very strong in lane, right? Just being able to isolate the 4, so you always can get the pull off. It's like we saw just now. So very annoying the hero to play against as the 4. But nonetheless, still very good CS from the Mag in the lane, already up to the double Razor, and he got the Lotus too, so he's looking to have a very good game. We did see Magnus struggle in the offlane in some of the other series we casted, but this time around it looks much better for him.
Yeah, the skewer back again. It's good damage onto Munkushi. Shockwave in a second, but he has to start backing up Infernal. And Munkushi is going to be left pretty low. How are they doing on the regen? There's a salve already on Kasani for us to pop that over, and also has a set of tangos coming out Kasani, so should be able to share some tangos out the way of Munkushi.
By the way, we saw the Batrider move over and snatch the bottom water rune from the Pangolier, so he's completely out of mana now.
And bottom lane, CS so far between SSS and Bottega. Pretty even, just a few more denies being had here by the Abaddon. But Bottega very much not getting slowed down, at least on these first few levels, first few waves. Soon have those early stats coming out as well, so then it'll be even easier for him to potentially get some denies as well against the Abaddon. Pretty stable start across the board.
Yeah, I think the level 5 Dusa as well, right? That's a really strong timing for the laning phase. Every wave the Abaddon needs to care, he doesn't get hit by this really strong snake. They are leaving him alone though for now, and Bat is angling more towards mid lane.
See up on the top. Once again, Lupsi getting caught out, but does set up for them to find one kill, maybe even two. Brainstab comes in onto Infernal, but he's got the skewer back up, gets the angle onto Kasani, and this time they'll take Lupsi dying there for sure, as Infernal off the back of the death of the Shaman is able to pick up a double kill. Meanwhile, over in the mid, we'll see Sweden Strong, as you said, he's sort of hovering around this mid lane looking for this opportunity, does find it, as both him and Squadix are able to push forward and take down Morel.
One way to start snowballing this game for 1W is to enable this Ember, right? If he starts getting active, getting the runes, and he's the hero that 1W can start playing around. So far, so good.
Shikoda did head over to try and mess with the potential power in spawn, but they were there ready and waiting for him. Another kill to be picked up by 1W.
Pengo not going for the bot rune. I think he's just anticipating Ember gonna, or it's maybe already taken, but Ember had no mana to Remnant, so he's just gonna get us for free here.
We've got the phase boots done now on the Abaddon, so yeah, still keeping an eye on these two to see what direction they want to go with their builds. On top. So they can catch out Infernal. They get the drag back with the Nightmare. Does still have a skewer at the ready, Infernal. They will use the Flame Break. Maybe we're trying to sort of hold that to try and interrupt the skewer, but doesn't quite come out in time for the interruption, so Infernal manages to make it back under the tower. Wisdom runes, yeah, SSS will fall back to grab his. And same we said here for Lupsi, so just the 1-for-1 still on the Wisdoms. Number 6 about to be hit on Infernal. And you have to be a little bit careful around the tower 1W in case of an RP skewer play.
Yeah, we see Infernal also queuing up the Blink Dagger, so that's the route he's gonna go. Meanwhile, bottom lane. Yeah, it's very hard to press it as Medusa also has 4 mangoes on him, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can't get baited in while looking at the mana bar if you're 1W. Kind of hard for them to make moves down there, even if they bring in the support rotations. That's in the mid. Sunny does head over. Gonna have Morel play aggressive here. He does have the backup of Lupsi. If he can get any chance to get a kill, the chains are out on the 2 of them. The shackles from Lupsi holding Squadix back, but he's going to be heavily outnumbered. As oh, okay, just TP's out. Never mind. TP's out under the nose of the 3 of them, and Lupsi this time will live.
That's pretty clutch, actually.
Yeah.
TP. It's like a high risk, high reward, I guess. If he TP's out there and dies, that's without boots as well. It's a long way out on the map. By the way,
well played.
we see the Abaddon queuing up the diffusal blade, so the build you were talking about might be inbound here.
He's gonna do it. I mean, it's usually what the downside with this, right? Just what takes a long time to get online, and especially if you're just going for this diffusal first, none of this build really speeds up your farming capabilities.
I mean, this diffusal blade countering Medusa idea is just often doesn't work as well as you'd hope, right? Because many times you get diffusal, but you're not gonna really see the Medusa on your screen for the next 15 minutes, right? He's going to be jungling and farming up somewhere, right? And you're not going to be able to get to him and right-click him. So heroes that buy diffusal, like Pangolier and stuff like this, where the continuation of the diffusal impact is going to be there. But with Abaddon, I'm not completely sold on it. I mean, we'll see if it works out. But in my experience, this type of build usually doesn't counter Medusa as much as you'd hope.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, eventually he's gonna have Butterfly, right? And you're gonna have like what, diffusal plus one item, and this is not really gonna. You're not gonna be able to go in and hit this guy that many times. But let's see.
Yeah, because it does feel when you see that being queued up by the Abaddon, that then kind of maybe makes me feel that the Medusa coming in as the last pick did sort of catch them by surprise. Because you've got to imagine, right, this probably wasn't the initial plan from 1W to be like, hey, let's run Abaddon off lane, he's going to farm diffusal. Like, I would be surprised if that's, you know, that's not the plan B and that was the plan A.
Oh, of course. Yeah, certainly. I mean, you also got to remember that it's not necessarily these teams don't necessarily have the same experience as us watching this game and seeing this Doom Abaddon combo play out like 2 days ago and then thinking about these things, right? Because it's not obvious before you've actually played the game once or had these heroes in your draft once already, right? It looks like a good combination because they can both go off lane, they can both be carry and things like that, but yeah, let's see if they can bring down Medusa here. He doesn't have a point in his ultimate, actually.
He's got a lot of backup coming in to help him, though. Rolling Thunder's going to be coming in from the side. Luxi's going to look for the opening to get the catch on someone. He's into the Hex onto SSS. As they surround the Abaddon. See if he's going to have any way out of this one. He knows he can't go for any sort of TP, as there's a lot of interrupts here available for Lupsi. So he's dead. So more than ready for that aggressive play. Yellow Submarine ready to bring in the numbers and keep their Medusa safe.
Maybe a bit too over-aggressive, right? Like chasing so long.
I mean, Squad X. See if they can perfectly lock him down. They can't. He's going to be able to jump away. That was a bit of a sneaky setup there. You know, we had Lupsi just sort of hanging around the tree line whilst Squad X was trying to farm these lane creeps. But luckily enough for him, he gets out alive.
I think he was just short of mana on the... They're gonna go on Medusa again, actually. Bat was still lingering around. Still no point in his ultimate.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's gonna be a bit of a blunder from Bottega. You know, it was him standing around too long at the end of it all. I mean, obviously last time he got all the TPs coming in. This time the team's gonna be like, bro, I can't help you this time.
You also had both supports kind of moving away towards mid, right? He probably thought, oh, I have supports in the vicinity, I can stay here, but... Yeah, maybe unclear communication, but also nice staying around as the Bat Rider there. Unpredictable for sure.
Swinging down bottom, Yellow Submarine. Looks like they're still interested in trying to take the fight here. It's the RP on the two of them. The borrowed time will come out as well as the shield. But underneath the tower, Swedish Strong will get caught. We'll see if SSS can actually get out of it, and he cannot. They've got the grab with the shackles, and he is dead. So we have one moment they're diving in, they're killing the Medusa. The next moment, finally, Yellow Submarine are back in a position to be able to come in, force together the defense, keep the tower alive, get themselves 2 big kills, and now put the pressure onto the tier 1 of 1W.
Yeah. That's also such an early blink tag on Mac, right? Like 12 minutes. You probably don't anticipate him having it that early. Yeah.
I must still be able to get quite... Yeah, fair bit of damage. So it's quite a bit of time there for Kasani to try and take it down. See the smoke coming in. They want to keep fighting down in 1W. This time, you know, it's going to be into the Stone Gaze being back online for Bottega. Still don't have the borrowed time either, so SSS has to be a little careful. See if they can get with this wraparound. Get eyes onto Jakoda first. You see Loopsy, he's bailed out of this one. He'll just TP away. We'll see Bottega also retreat. And he's going to hold the high ground. Maybe he looks to see if he can try and turn an out fight back. He's got the Stone Gaze, so should be able to keep Shikoda safe. Now the remnants are in. Shikoda's trying to juke. He will die. He'll get the wheel out. It's not going to catch on to anyone. The Fiend Script is there to hold back Morel during this Rolling Thunder. Morel is able to get out of this one. The Rolling Thunder comes to an end. He'll get burst down by the Brain Sap. And now Bottega outnumbered. Looks like he's heading over. Can he do anything to help him here? The lasso comes down to Bottega. Bottega surrounded by the four of them. They'll kill off the Medusa. 1W. Very, very insistent on making these moves down on this bottom lane. And this time round, it's a big hit. They take out the big cause. They take out the big carry. Bottega once again. And of course, during all of this time, Munkushi, he's loving life up on the top side.
Yeah. I mean, that was huge for them, right? I mean, I don't think they expected it to go so poorly. Ringmaster survived so long that it was almost like, hey, we can maybe turn this. And actually, they ended up losing 3 heroes plus the tower there. So, massive win for them. That was also the diffusal timing on the Pangolier, so he was pretty strong there. Now Abaddon got his. Let's see how much impact this item is going to have.
Yeah. I see where it goes after this. You know, is it going to be diffusal into the Manta? You go sort of diffusal in some sort of blink? Or where do you want to go with this?
I don't think he really knows yet. He hasn't queued anything up. I don't imagine he has many diffusal Abaddon games in his pops. I think it is just going to be one of those times where you wing it and, you know, see what happens. He got a Blitz Knuckle actually. So it's some kind of Echo Saber, I suppose. Wait, no, that's not Echo Saber anymore. Orchid?
Orchid? Yeah, it's either going to be the Orchid or some sort of Shadow Blade Silver Edge.
Orchid.
Okay, Orchid. All right.
It's a nice Orchid game. It's a lot of nice targets. I want to commend the one win continuously running at this Medusa early on, because normally we see teams feel like, this guy is too tanky, we can't really kick him out, it's too hard of a kill, but they just kept going down there, and I think this was a good decision. Now they opened up the map for themselves here. Mid lane.
When you get the kill, and with the Serpent Ward down, they should be able to have a good shot of threatening the tier 1. We'll see if 1W want to do anything here. Squadix is going to jump in, jump out, try to get the power in, won't be able to grab it, ends up spawning up top. It's a nice one as well, the amplified damage ready for the taking here for Yellow Submarine. They finished the tier 1 tower mid. We'll just see as well, Bottega, he's managed to get himself prepped some pretty juicy ancient stacks, so should be able to head back and farm that up soon. Some stacks being farmed on the other side of the map by Squadix, and Munkushi has hit that timing. So the Radiant's now online for the Doom in the jungle. See Shikoda getting caught, but he's got backup. Coming in from the side, they've got the shackles, skewer over, he's going to hold back on the RP because he knows the borrowed time's there. Now he'll go for it. See if this is going to give them the chance to actually get a kill from this. The Rolling Thunder does control and burst Kasane. The Doom drop down here on towards the Pango, but the shackles there from Lupsi will be put to a stop by the lasso. Infernal's trying to chase down the Doom, but he cannot fight this on his own. He has to go for the TP out. Is there anything to stop it? There is not. He'll escape, but Shikoda might not be quite as fortunate as Sweden Strong. With chase on forward, the chains are there from Squadix as 1W are able to successfully push Yellow Submarine out of their jungle.
Yeah, nice fight from 1W. I think also one thing Yellow Submarine has to remember in this game is that they actually have a carry Medusa, right? Which means this hero is unlikely to be running with you into the jungle. So when you invade like that, you are probably going to be playing 4 vs 5. That's what ends up happening there. Also, we see the strength of the Abaddon ultimate, right? It's kind of hard for them to use their spells on this hero. Like both the RP, the Pangolier roll, the Wheel of Wonder, they all get countered by the ultimate of Abaddon. So he's just in their face, and we see the Diffusal Blade come into play not against Medusa, but against the other heroes of Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, I mean, it's with this sort of build on Abaddon, it's if you're sort of getting ahead and you're able to play aggressive, it feels pretty great, right? You hit this timing, 18 minutes in, Diffusal and the Orchid. You just go on someone at this point where they just don't really have the means to sort of separate themselves from you. It's not easy. We'll see a good jump here from Infernal. Gets the skewer onto SSS, but again, he still has borrowed time at the very end of the tower. Stone Gaze will be there. That's going to be the borrowed time pop. See if they can catch him after this. They'll land the root into the Rolling Thunder again. They're shutting off his escape as well with the Wheel of Wonder underneath the tower. They will be able to kill SSS off.
It actually reminds me of, I think it might have been Blast or Dream League, where we saw the Abaddon versus Magnus matchup quite a bit. And the general idea is that Abaddon is good against Mag because of the RP factor. Nice catch from the back of the wall.
Yeah, Infernal. He's been getting some really nice skewers this game. 3-0-5. Shikoda will die for this move though, as backup was inbound here from 1W. Shikoda get caught by the Nightmare. Not going to be able to try for a neutral tonight as the Slider Fish from Squad X finishes him off.
But back to the Abaddon Mag matchup, right? The Abaddon considered good against Mag because you can't really RP him. He's always going to get his ultimate off. He can even shield off another guy. RP as well. And I think nowadays it's the skewering back the Abaddon, right? Because Abaddon wants the front line. He can't die. He has 2 lives type of thing, right? But the skewering back of Abaddon into your team, right, makes it so that Abaddon cannot play how he wants to play later on in the game anymore. So I think this matchup it goes both ways for sure, like we just saw in the mid lane there.
Now with these last few moments, Bottega has been able to do a good job of avoiding getting caught in the moves. He's found himself a nice spot on this top kind of half of the Radiant side of the map. Some butterfly progress. He has the Eagle song done. The rest of the team are looking to make plays. 1W, of course, are trying to make plays towards them. They want to continue to put this pressure on the Medusa. They do not want to let Bottega have the chance to run away with this game.
20-minute Tormentor here. 1W in good position to take it, but we have a big smoke coming in from Yellow Submarine. And looks like 1W knows about it, so they're gonna chill a bit hitting this Tormentor.
Let's have a look here. Infernal, what can he find? SSS, he's going to be able to turn with the silence, but the blink outs there. They weren't able to get any damage in onto the Magnus, so he's still able to blink away. And now the jump's been made onto SSS. They've got the Hex from the Rolling Thunder. He'll turn towards Luxi. Will be able to kill the Shaman off, but the Stone Gaze is there from Bottega. Freezes in place the Bane. They've killed off the Bane. Now they're ready to try and turn to potentially look for more here. As Bottega in a fantastic position in the center of the fight. The RP locks down Mankushi. It's a double kill for Shikoda. This fight's getting pretty awkward now for 1W. They're going to try and find Infernal, but they have to deal with this Medusa. Question is, can they? Mirel jumps in with the shield crash on towards the 2 of them. Still pushing forward here. Bottega doing, not a crazy amount of burst damage, but he's slowly killing them off, and he'll be able to finish off Squadix. That's a huge kill, ending his 8-kill monster kill streak. And they try and fight them, fight back 1W, but we are starting to see early signs of the Medusa problem, right? As I say, she's not killing you quickly, but you're not killing her before she eventually kills you.
I mean, this whole fight started a bit awkward for 1W, right? Abaddon silences the Magnus. He gets to blink out of there, out of trouble, right? And since then, he just kites the fight all the way. We also get the Doom. He didn't cast Doom at all because of the nice Manti dodge from Bottega, and then he got RP straight away afterwards. And the Bane grip was cancelled by the Medusa ult, so a lot of things going right there for Yellow Submarine. And yeah, now he has his butterfly up, and we have not seen the Diffusal play off at all against the Medusa. This Abaddon, now he has a Blink Dagger too. If he doesn't start to win fights from here, I fear for his ability to scale into this game. He's very squishy right now. If they pop his ultimate early, it's very hard for him to have impact in the fight.
Yeah. It very much is the problem with this sort of build. You do just die so easily, so quickly, the 2 times, borrowed time. You have those few seconds, but outside of that, yeah, you just melt. So it's a risky one. I think it definitely an adaptation that SSS has had to make because there's a Medusa in the game. It's not going to be an easy one for 1W, I don't think. They do have this 3k lead, but I think that the Medusa just overall, as we saw signs of in that last fight, is absolutely a big problem.
Yeah. In the back of it, though, they do get the Tormentor, but Yellow Submarine just kind of accepted that, and they just farmed the map. Also got the tier 1 bottom lane, though. Abaddon being very aggressive here.
Yeah, tries to make a bit of a solo play. He has got borrowed time, and they won't be able to fully commit on him, knowing that there's time now for backup to come in from 1W, so he'll be alright. Loopsy, though, is actually going to find Sweden strong off of the side. He's ready to make a solo move. It drops the Serpent Ward down. Quick plays from him to catch out the bat. Mirel borrows the kill. And Bottega, he might have even found some action here. Okay, Kasani will be able to back off for the Nightmare. End up bot lane again? SSS gets through it. He has to immediately put the borrowed time to try and get away. These are a couple of slip-ups. Sweden's getting caught in that position, and the Abaddon getting caught like this. That's not good.
This is getting into dangerous territory now, because we already talked about the difficulty if 1W has team fighting into Yellow Submarine lineup, and now giving away these random pickoffs as well. I think this is not what we want to be doing. Now you're going to lose a tier 2 probably here, if a Yellow Submarine commits for it.
Coming in with the TPs.
Okay, they're just going to decide to back off. It's not worth their trouble right now. But the mag as well, having an Aghanim so early, I mean, it really is problematic for 1W to deal with. And we saw Magnus yesterday, played by Sumail on the mid lane, also going for a similar build with the Aghanims, and it's kind of rising in stock, in my opinion, at least in this qualifier.
Kasani might get caught here, yep. In with the horn toss. Quick catch. And 1W, they are around, but I don't think they want to try and do anything about this. Also going to lose his curry there, Kasani. We'll see them try with a knockback of the flame break. Shackles are there. Rolling Thunder coming in. We can see the buyback come out from the Bane. Bottega moving forward. They've got the Rolling Thunder perfectly locking down Munkushi. That's the carry dead. Bane, he bought back for this. He's dead as well. It's looking rough. I mean, they had a little bit of a lead on the gold. That's now gone away, Misery. I think 1W are maybe regretting the fact that I think they did forget about the Medusa during the draft phase.
Maybe they did. They are looking a little bit flustered here. The moves that they're making and the buybacks, and they can't really fight, right? We see the Doom now he just got his BKB, so maybe next fight he'll be able to do something more, but he is just getting chain stunned. You're not necessarily even going to get that BKB off against all this RP Pangolier roll, right? Hexes from Shadow Sham, and it's looking very hard for them right now. I guess the next thing on the menu now is the Roshan, right? If they don't manage to contest that, then...
Oh, not again, SSS.
Again, yeah.
He's getting caught so much. Borrowed time. I mean, it's not going to save him.
I wouldn't want to be playing with Abaddon right now. It's just hopeless. It's such a bad matchup in this game right now. Nobody can really show on the lanes anymore, right?
I think
go ahead.
No, I feel like SSS, he's probably just molding about the Medusa pick. He's like, guys, why did we not ban this hero? Why am I having to play this? Why am I having to build these items to try and counter something that we forgot about?
Maybe, yes. It's also the way Yellow Submarine can play this game. They can just ignore one lane and play 2 lanes. And nobody can show in those 2 lanes, right? Because of the mag skewer. So by that nature, they're going to control a lot of the map all the time. And it's just the mag Aghanims is just such an easy execution. It's just blink in, pressure horn toss, get a pick, right? And if you don't have the right heroes to deal with it or to initiate the fight afterwards, then playing the map is just so difficult. And here is the Roshan. There's no sign of any contesting here, and it's gonna be in ages. Onto the Medusa probably. Closing in on Skadi as well. Problematic.
It's massive. Once again, I mean, as we said, we've seen in the performances from Yellow Submarine, Bottega, this lad super solid on the carry. That's some very good plays, very good games from him. And 1W, what is the plan? What is the plan, do you think, 1W?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it.
They're not in a great spot. How do they get out of this? Is there any sort of big item around the corner?
It doesn't look like there's any big item, but I think just thinking about going high ground, there is probably a high ground attempt going to be happening within the next 5 minutes, right? Within the next ages period from Yellow Submarine. And you do have the Blink Lasso. Let's see if they can catch somebody bottom. Ringmaster is... okay. They got the Doom on the mag though, on the left. So that's a nice pick off here.
But can SSS get out? I think he might be in trouble. So they do get, as you said, they get a kill. They get a Magnus. But it does cost them 2 heroes, and one of them being, unfortunately for himself, SSS, who's going to go down yet again.
Yeah, it's definitely looking hard. I mean, for you to kill a mag somewhere on the map, you have to commit the Doom, you have to commit so many heroes into that area, right? And it's kind of easy for Yellow Submarine to follow up and get return kills afterwards. Especially right now when you have the Aegis on Medusa. But anyways, as for the high ground push, you do have the Blink Lasso with a 4-stab on bat. So maybe there's some kind of play like that you can make where you drag the Medusa in deep. It's just so hard. Look how tanky he is, and he's always going to get his ult off.
Oh, and look at the catch.
The catch on Mag, Ember.
He's got him at the side. We'll see if they're able to get him out. They've got the Nightmare. They will get the Lasso on the Loopsy, trying to drag him up into the base, but they can't even get him in. The Flame Break will hit. He's able to walk this one off. Loopsy's not even going to die. And he's back here. Look at him go. He's ready to jump in, continue to play aggressive. He's caught the back. And they'll get him. Sweet and Strong goes down. Loopsy will find the dive for his efforts. They'll try and fight this here, going in with the BKB. Squadix looking to find the supports, but they've got the RP. The Stone Gaze is there, but Squadix will be able to back out before he ticks in. Munkushi heads into the midst of the fight, but he now has to put the BKB and run. So the root is going to catch on towards the Bane. Kasani won't look to dive the high ground. They'll hold back, but they know that that was 1W trying to make this move with the 2 BKB usages, and they don't get anything after that initial Shaman kill.
Yeah, everything was kind of used there, but I think that benefits Yellow Submarine.
Oh, no, SSS again. He's got the borrowed time. Oh, look at the blink off, but with the wheel, he's going to catch him.
Another screw coming in very shortly here. If he wants to.
Nah, he doesn't go for it.
Again, we saw the Bane grip getting cancelled instantly by the Medusa ultimate. She tried to catch onto the Pangolier roll there, but it's such a huge AoE, the Medusa ult. Much bigger than you even think. Especially when you have to stand and channel, right? So, yeah. I mean, this was really good for Yellow Submarine, because the BKBs were popped, the Abaddon ult were popped as well. And now you can just go high ground, you still have the Aegis. You don't need the ultimates as much as 1W does. Big Snake as well, speeding up the process here.
That's going to be easy mid-racks. Now maybe even a second set if they want to swing around to the bottom. Now already, look, we see Inferno as well smoked up, seeing if he can get a chance for a Horn Toss drag back. He might find something. And he's going to find Munkushi, and Munkushi is going to get caught out by the Heck. They do have the lasso to control Bottega for now, so they'll drag him off to the side. But Sweet and Strong will die for that as he gets caught by the shackles. Jump forward here as they try and chase down Infernal and Jakoda, as they do get a couple of the 1W. Can they get Morel? They surrounded the Pango. They'll get him on top of it. Okay, so and not a bad defense. They do lose their mid barracks, but they are at least able to take something away from Yellow Submarine, getting those 3 kills. It's something.
It's something for sure. The gold is actually surprisingly even after all of this. I mean, a couple of points there is that Mag went in pretty deep. It didn't feel like Yellow Submarine was quite ready for that level of aggression from Infernal. And then secondly, I think Sweet and Strong was the kind of the hero of that fight, right? Dragging the Medusa away to the side and forcing the Medusa to pop ultimate and stand there and kill the Bat Rider off, which meant that he wasn't in the real fight where Pangolier and Mag and Ringmaster ended up going down. So they are still playing around their spells nicely here. Maybe the Bat Rider is the deciding factor in this game if one win is supposed to come back in this one.
So what 1W wants to do. I mean, if you're 1W, are you trying to go for these sort of smoke moves, or do you sort of say, hey, we're going to sort of wait until they come to us again, play these high ground defenses?
Yeah, I think you, of course, you want to try to avoid getting picked off like this. This is not good, but that's very hard, of course. I think you want to try to cut as many waves as possible, try to delay this game, get more items on your Ember Spirit and your Abaddon, like pretty much every hero, right, if you can. And make your heroes as tanky as possible so that this Medusa doesn't just shred through your lineup. So right now she is really hard to deal with. But I don't know if Yellow Submarine is gonna allow you to just farm more.
Super close down with the full disperser on Bottega, just a couple of 100 gold off that. Bringing in the top wave, ready to take down that final tier 2 tower that 1W have. BKB on Magnus now. See, so, I mean, because Yellow Submarine, do you think they try and push it? Do they play it safe, wait for that next Roshan before you go high ground again?
Yeah, I think you're gonna take the Tormentor right now, and then I think you play the map a little bit, try to get some more picks with the mag, because I think going high ground can be a bit risky. If you go high ground and somehow that ends up poorly for you, then suddenly you're a little bit in trouble. Because what we see now is that the net worth is more or less even, and most of the net worth advantage for Yellow Submarine is on the Medusa, right? If Magnus and Pangolier starts dying in this game, it is pretty much just going to be Medusa versus the world, right? Whereas on the other hand, on W, they have 3 cores scaling really well right now. We have the Nullifier finished up on Abaddon, right? We have Doom, of course, getting many items as the hero's nature, allows it, and Ember as well closing in on Shivas. So we might see a situation where Yellow Submarine can become a tricore, whereas Yellow Submarine only has that one Medusa. But one win is going to actually smoke up here with a double damage onto the Doom. He deals a lot of damage right now. And a smoke away from this area from Yellow Submarine. Not sure they are even aware that they were coming for them. They also seem to be looking for aggression themselves. Perhaps looking to find somebody in the bot area of the map.
No, looks like 1W should be able to avoid this move this time. So yeah, we'll inevitably have to answer to the push. It's just not looking any easier for 1W as these minutes pass. Difficult to see what they're going to have to just be able to take down this Medusa at this point.
Yeah, seems very difficult for sure. Like if you focus her, then the spells of Mag and Pangolier will interrupt you for sure. If you focus the other guys, well then the user will do ham and press an ultimate. Here is the high ground push. So the big snake also really helps in this way, right? It does kill the tower surprisingly fast. I really think this talent is, or the facet is better than the chicken fingers.
It's so strong. I mean, it's just like, look at this. Like nobody wants to step up and hit it.
You can't kill it. You can't kill it. It's just gonna rack you.
Yeah, they can't do anything about this big old snake. They got 2 snakes they got a problem with this game.
What a combo.
That's a problem. SSS. Must be spotted. Okay, take a try to set up on them with the Stone Gaze. A little ambitious.
Very early Stone Gaze here. This could be an opening for 1W. It's a very
I think you got to try. Yeah, they'll make the jump forward on Mancusi. Does he get caught by the heck? The RP's in on the walls, then he's caught the back, caught the dude. Swedish Stroke's dead. Mancusi will get the BKB off, but it's too late. He's dead as well. A beautiful RP coming in there from Infernal. As 1W, I mean, they make that move right because they feel desperate in this position. They're like, well, Stone Gaze has been used. I guess we're going to try something. It's just not good enough at this point.
It's just too difficult to start a fight, right? It's like we just mentioned. You go on Medusa, the other guys interrupt. You go on the other guys, then Medusa will be there and hitting you. It's much easier for Yellow Submarine. All they need to do is stick together and control the 2 lanes, like we mentioned earlier as well. And then on top of that, the ease of execution in terms of going high ground with the big snake. But they're not GGing out yet, so let's see if they... there's no way. Let's see if they can hold, but it looks very rough here.
The snakes are out again.
Yeah, the snake is out.
The Serpent Ward might just end the game if you give them a long enough time. This ward's got the objective in mind. He's trying to close it. The Fuse Grip will come out onto Morale and get the silence onto Bottega. It's just ending the game. You know, who cares what's happening in this fight? This Serpent Ward's ready to get the win. I think he's pretty much the only thing that's hit the Ancient, and that's all that's needed to be doing. They're tapping out. They're disconnecting out. This is over as game 1 goes to Yellow Submarine. More than what 1W ended up coming into game 1 with. So they should be giving themselves a better shot with this one. But Yellow Submarines, it seems to be the team you've got to be watching with the run that they've been making down in the lower bracket and the wins. They've just looked good. And I guess you would say as well, overall with Yellow Submarines draft, this is one of those drafts where you do like the way that the Doom's been picked and played, right? With sort of the heroes that are complementing it.
I kind of like the idea that you just pick Doom and you commit it to the carry straight away. I think that's a good approach for Doom. By the way, we have a very aggressive smoke, so let's have a see if there's some kind of a kill gonna be happening here. Sentry.
Yeah, they just have to.
Ward.
Yeah, not going to be able to do anything off the back of that 1W. Just have to let their ward go.
He's gonna deny his own ward there. Just keep it open. But anyways, about the Doom, to close out that point, yeah, I feel like if you focus too much on flexing this Doom to offlane, you might end up hurting your own draft and your own strategy more than if you just tell yourself, okay, this is always a carry Doom, and now we're just gonna pick a good solid lineup around it. Because Doom carry does not seem like it has many weaknesses overall, except for when you pick the Abaddon as well to try to flex it, or something similar to that, right? Where you overlap the weaknesses of the hero. I don't think they've done that this game. I think they have a lot of mixed damage and a lot of catch frontline with the Timber. I actually see the Bottega doing the body blocking of for his offlaners here. Or does that mean they're gonna put the Doom in the offlane? Looks like it.
Okay, so who's dodging who here? Well, is this the Timber trying to dodge the Ursa?
Ah, that's a good question. I think maybe that's the case. I would actually think that Timber being pretty happy against Ursa. Yeah, I'm not really sure what ended up happening here. I didn't pay attention to that, but yeah, we got an offlane Doom here, played from the carry role, and then the Ursa is in the offlane. I think Doom is more happy in this type of scenario right now.
Sure, like, yeah, I mean, because the top. I mean, Ursa should still pretty easily farm right up here. Or you say you think there could actually be the chance that once she gets to like these level 2s, 3s, the burst and the damage coming out from the Timber and the Silencer could be kind of annoying for the Ursa to lane against?
Ursa's kind of weak early on. It doesn't have any spells in comparison to the Timbersaw and the Silencer. So, yeah, I don't think this lane is that good for the Ursa, but I mean, we'll see. It's not often you see the Ursa lane in the off lane.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, right? These sort of lane swaps, they just kind of never happen anymore.
Yeah,
Because they used to be much more common, right? It would be the case that if you did have an unfavorable situation, you're like, right, we've got to change the lanes. I mean, I guess for reasons other than just sort of like hero matchups or whatnot, maybe being as serious or severe in these lanes as they have been in the past. You know, what are the other reasons why we don't see teams really do this? Like, what is the downside of making this drastic move?
I think a lot of it is just the stability of players playing their role in their lane so much more nowadays. We have a kill onto the Willow, I think. Here.
He's going to try and deny to neutrals, but Infernal very nicely times it there with the right click.
I think the key to this lane, if Ursa has to have it, well, is that the camps will be blocked, because then maybe Ursa can get lane control and then they can somehow keep the lane in a good position. But if they get to pull over and over and Timbersaw gets over levels, then I think Ursa is going to suffer in the regen department. But for now they choose to keep the lanes like this. It does mean that potentially Mag has a better time. But I think oftentimes the lane matchups are not that one-sided as they used to be. There are ways to play around it. Back in the day when there was a lot more Enigma maybe, and Razor, these type of like really hard lane dominators, these matchups, they were a lot more important. I think nowadays they are less common and...
Bottom lane.
Yeah.
Very, I mean, Kasani, he was playing it risky there. He was trying to stand his ground for the Lotus. He's just getting all these napalms stacked up upon him, and he only sort of had the one leap to try and get away, but at that point, the stacks are up. It's an easy flame break setup from Lupsi to come in.
I don't know, I kind of hate this lane setup right now for one win team. I think it would be better to just do standard. I feel like you're not really shutting down anyone here. Let's see top here.
Oh, look at the burst.
Damage. Yeah, look at the damage.
I mean, Makushi, it will stand his ground. He will get the kill. Right. Can he get out, though? He can't. Dakota might. Oh, okay, he's not got enough mana to threaten Sweden Strong as well, but they'll get the trade. So he does get a kill on the way down, Munkushi.
That was also a scenario where both of them were very low from earlier engagements. But if both teams start with full resources, if Silencer gets to by itself now and Mangoes, like I think he's doing, and Timber comes back with full HP, I think it's... Yeah, it's not so fun to be Ursa here. Mid lane is completely even right now.
Bottom lane, we just see them get kind of close to making attempts on the Bottega. They skewered him under the tower, but didn't have anything else to hold him under there. As of yet, top lane. Use the shadow around here again. And each time Infernal closes in, it's a hefty amount of burst here from this level 3 Timbersaw. Look at the courier though. A little off the mark there with his courier movements. So easy snipe for Sweden strong.
In some ways, maybe this matchup is easier for Ursa to play in the off lane actually than in the safe lane. But yeah, not sure.
Another movement here for the Twin Gate. Trying to dive in, but TPs are coming in. This is very aggressive moves from 1W. It's going to cost them Sweden Strong's life. I mean, Munkushi, he's trying to get the kill. He will get it. Can he get out? He'll maybe see if he can deny himself to the neutrals, to the ancients. He can't. Lupsi's able to get the damage in to take him down. Super aggressive plays from 1W. Is that worth it? You've just lost 2 heroes for that.
That's
and one of them is a carry.
Yeah, that's definitely not worth it. I'm wondering if this was a little bit of a frustration or like a. It does not feel good. I mean, there was a double wave coming in. Onto the Timbersaw, so maybe they felt like, okay, if we don't dive here, if we just give the Timbersaw all these last hits, it's potentially even worse. Let's try to see what we can do. But yeah, the fact that Ursa can't just sit and last hit creeps, it doesn't feel good. But he is gonna get these waves coming in now, and he's closing in on level 5, at which point his damage output is much bigger.
Sports coming in from the side. The curse of the Munkushi as well as a good flame break knockback, but TPs are coming in. So Munkushi will be fine. Squadix turns up. Going with the toss, but have they got anything else? Avalanche is at the ready, but he can't get in range for the bat, and he doesn't want to go on Infernal. He's got nowhere near enough damage to threaten this Timber.
Yeah, it is up to Squadix this game to stabilize the situation that they're in. He does have a very good game. But of course, these type of rotations are not ideal for him.
Bottom lane, 42-9 against the 34-3. So still very much SSS is having the best time here, getting the CS. So on track to get this good treads into blink timing for sure. With sort of the setup that he's been given, just overall the fact is that as a team, booming that Munkushi on this top side is going to have this bit of a slower entry into the game. It's the 26 CS.
See the supports here living onto the mag. These 2 supports are very strong in this phase of the game. But alright. Mag is going to get one of the kills, solo kill as well. So can't be too unhappy about that one.
In the mid, they're trying for Mirel, but they had just enough mana to get away from this. Just get some space for the pressure onto the bottom tower to come in here from Bottega.
Yeah, this lane is also problematic now because Doom is level 6, almost 7 here. He's gonna hit it now. So he's very strong, and not many heroes are gonna want to go against this Doom right now. But they're not gonna abandon this lane. Does mean that SSS is gonna have to have some backup here. Can they potentially try to go on him?
Get the RP onto Bottega. So if they've got the damage, they should put Squadix coming in. They've got the avalanche and the toss. It's enough to bring Bottega down.
Okay, that was really big because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of Doom sitting down there threatening to be Doom. But he was maybe a little bit too cocky there, not anticipating that he could actually die in this spot. That was a kill for the Tiny as well, so his game is suddenly very good. Level 8 already. Has the core components, the Soul Ring, the Wand, Face Boots. If they can kill this Doom again, that would be insane.
See what they got. They got the Avalanche. And the Bramble, they'll be able to drop the Doom down straight away onto Wall Squad. It's the Skewer, a little bit of an awkward one. Which comes in with the damage, but doesn't really set up for them to finish the Doom off. And Bottega, he's still able to just run down Squadix. They kill off the Tiny, and nothing positive happening there for 1W. They just cost them their mid's life.
So the curse just kept going because of the Doom was onto the Tiny. Right? Because he's silenced. So the curse just keeps ticking. That's how he died. Pretty much from full HP there.
It added up to be
what a combo.
a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, silence are dealing 650 damage there in that fight. So
over in the mid. And the Bramble's on Lupsy, but Squadix not in range to help out. And Bottega surviving through. That's going to put him pretty close to the Midas goal. Meanwhile, SSS's progress on the Blink. He's about 1,500 in on it. Now, hovering around mid, trying to get some pressure with the tier 1. It's very close to being taken down here by 1W. They'll look for the deny. Morale will get the deny.
Wonder how they managed to take that tower, make that tower so low there. I didn't really pay attention to that, but that's really big. Without any real tower damage heroes, and the fact that Tiny have been both bottom and top lane.
And look at this, they're stealing some of the stacks.
Yeah. Oh, that's so big. Good stuff from them. Mag on bottom lane here.
They use the global to try and commit for him. Should be able to get him. The backup's now coming in. The question is, can 1W fight back without the Magnus? Tower's going to be gone. Squadix looks like he still wants to try some. He's leading in. It's Toss. It's going to be focusing the way of Shikoda. They take the Silencer out. Got the Moonlight Shadow now to reset the position. And they'll leave it at that. So they do lose the tower. They do lose the Magnus, but at least able to take a support kill. Oh, and a nice arrow. But do they have the damage to kill this Timber? So Infernal's kind of a tough target. Yeah, he knows it. He's ready to, in fact, stick around a little bit. He's like, yeah, what are you going to do about me?
Lupsy go.
Well, I don't know what the plan was there from Lupsy.
Top lane, Reversa. Gonna get doomed up and killed here.
To be fair, maybe that was the plan from Lupsy. He was like, I'm just going to walk into these guys so they don't realize that their carry's dying on the other side of the map.
Maybe, so nobody realizes.
On bottom. They really want this Timber kill. They're going to drop the RP, trying to take him down, but he's living for it all. Infernal's out of there with the Timber chain. That's 4 heroes trying to take him out, throwing an RP down on him as well. They can't kill the Timber.
Yeah, that was very important that he somehow didn't die there. I'm surprised he's so tanky with no points in reactive armor as well. And all these heroes surrounding him, but I think they were just out of mana on both Tiny and Mirana, so they couldn't really follow up on anything there. But looking very good for Yellow Submarine. I think heroes are getting all the things that they want. Of course, it's still very even, and I think we have a Mag Blink. Yeah, Blink on Mag now as well. And Blink on Tiny as well. So actually, despite them being slightly behind there, OneWin has all the tools that they need to be aggressive right now.
Are they gonna make the move
Now
top?
the question now is, can they find these kills, or are Yellow Submarine going to be aware of it and ready?
They're ready with the initiation. Toss forward, but the global silence comes out immediately, ready to put a stop to this attempt. TP in from Infernal, they'll kill Sweden Strong off, and they'll keep Bottega alive. Now 1W have to be cautious, because Yellow Submarine, they're looking to chase more. Good flame break, knocked back one of the two of them. They've got the jump on him on Mancushi, he'll get the enrage off, but he's caught by the curse. Infernal's burst through Kasani, and Mancushi surrounded as Yellow Submarine get the triple kill here for Infernal. This Timber's, they're going to start getting out of control here. Not just on the Timber, but all three cores. Yellow Submarine, they're at the top.
They're just playing so well also, right? They're anticipating every move. The global coming in right at the right time. They're just saving the Doom, and everyone is ready to connect as well from Yellow Submarine. Everyone has mana, has HP to fight all the time, so gotta commend them from watching these, from reading these moves, right? The fact that you got the blink tag on Tiny and on Mag, and Yellow Submarine seeing that even without scouting it out, you know, anticipating it, and the timing. But of course, the aggression doesn't stop here. That's the strength of having Tiny and Mag and these supports, is that you can, even though you make a mistake like this and you know, global is used and all this, and you can keep going. You can go top again, you can take this tower down and be aggressive on the map. We do have a Battle Fury coming in for the Ursa after this tower goes down, I believe, so he's also starting to recover.
1W. I'll see where they want to go with this next. Let me see if they can catch anyone down bottom. Morel, of course, still a slippery one. Blink combo into an arrow from Mirana might still be enough at this stage to take even down the Storm if they can get the lockdown perfectly.
Yeah, he's quite tanky though, right? He's actually 1700 HP with the
that's true. Yeah, maybe they can't.
They need a third hero, it feels like. But I think the other Submarine are very content if there's no aggression coming out of one win. Like, they are very happy with just farming away, getting the blink up on Bat as well, closing in on Radiance for Doom as well. The Timber has a Yule Scepter. I guess it's a very good item against both Mag and Ursa, so partly why I think buying this item. Mid lane. Really want to get that rune for Tiny here.
I'm trying to set up with a Moonlight Shadow, but no, Arcane Rune at the ready.
Wait, what happened there? Did they not even want to check for that rune? Or did they think?
Yeah, I don't know, because
That's so weird. They were right there. I think they realized it may have been top or something, because
like, I don't know.
It was like they like looked and they're like, oh, the rune is top, and walked away. But the rune hadn't spawned yet, so they didn't. I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah.
That looked weird.
Oh well, probably for the best that they didn't go for it. I mean, they might have got jumped. You know, Infernal was in position, and the Yellow Submarine had just slapped down the ward that caught them. But yeah, I think you're right. I think they just, whoever was at the edge of the vision didn't quite move far enough to actually get the vision of the rune spawns.
This smoke could be devastating for one win here.
They're going to find the Tiny. Squadix. He's going to get caught by the Chakram. He's very far away from the rest of them. Lupsi already starting to play around with SSS as they've killed off one. Now they're ready to go for more. The Global Silence coming in. They'll drop the Doom down onto SSS as the Magnus will tick down. Sweet and Strong getting dealt with here by both the Silencer and Bottega. As it's starting to look a little bit shaky for 1W once again here in this game too. Kasani is going to try and get out with the TP. He'll make it away, but yeah, these 3 deaths and just the fact and sort of nature of the heroes right now. Squadix, he really wants to try and be finding these plays to get involved. It's same to be said for SSS with this Blink Dagger, but these last few minutes, it's just not been happening in their favor.
Yeah. Trying to storm here. They have the damage here. They actually do have the damage with the Ursa.
All right.
That was a nice kill for them here.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a surprise there for Morel. He did not expect to die like that to those 2 heroes, but they're just enough.
5-man mid. Can we go Roshan here maybe? We gotta do something, I think, if we're one win with this kill here. So yeah, I think they're gonna get themselves a Roche here. So nice little moves here from them to keep themselves in this game. Up until now, I think the problem for them has been that every time they want to try to be aggressive, they have to consider that there's a global, right, that can interrupt all these blink daggers early on. So it is not that easy for them to make moves when global is up.
Yeah, a big bit of a step in there. Blink Dagger and the Aegis now on Munkushi. Ult's coming back up pretty soon for Yellow Submarine. 20 seconds until they got the global.
They see the Timber. Oh, they can't get him.
We've got the 2 of them heading up top here. Blink Dagger ready on the bat. Lupsi. It's going to try and start messing around with Munkushi.
He's very isolated here.
He's Gonna try and fight back with the swipes, but that's him gone the once, and indeed I think the rest of the team, they're like, what do you want us to do, bro? We can't help you up there. It's gonna try for the TP out, but the Vortex is at the ready. That's a bit of a painful one there. I mean, they got this little bit of a leg up, getting that chance to kill Morel in the mid, get the Ursa, the Aegis, but moments after they get it, Munkushi loses the Aegis just like that.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they should have just mass TP'd up there when they realized Bat was chasing him. Maybe the communication wasn't quite there, because nobody really reacted to that.
They didn't at all, yeah.
That also looked a bit weird, to be honest. And everybody was across the map, too. But yeah, that's definitely painful for them. Bot lane, we have Bat Rudder going down, so... Willow also getting jumped here in mid lane. A lot of skirmish in this game.
Popping the global there to make sure the Willow goes down.
Yeah.
And no one's able to do anything to help.
Oh, don't mind me. Just a wee fairy going about her business.
Doom is also getting so farmed at this rate. He has the Midas, he has a Radiance, his whole farming kit is set up, is ready to go here. Basically the alchemist level of farm speed. That also puts pressure on one win to make moves, and I can't help but think that they are feeling like they are a little bit on a timer this game, but it's hard to... It is very difficult to pressure and punish Yellow Submarine. But this is a start for sure. The kill on Timber is a nice start.
Don't mind me. Just a wee fairy.
Yeah, we're also definitely seeing the potential. We had them get that burst kill onto the Storm. They're getting the pick off onto the Timber. Just what can they do beyond that? Because so these solo pickoffs don't seem to be enough. They will get another objective. Hit one W, get the shard. Here's the takedown to Tormentor top. Here's the way Sweden strong.
Very anticlimactic shot. Doesn't have a point in Curse Crown yet.
That's always a little awkward. You get the shard for something that's not quite ready to skill.
Another smoke here. When they catch Morel, I think he should be aware that something is off, because he didn't see any heroes depart from the top area, right? They have a ward right there on outside the gate. They have vision on him. Oh, nice scan actually. I wonder if that was himself doing that or his teammate, but that scan saves his life there.
I've actually
smoke train is continuing through here.
And Yellow Submarine, they've smoked up in response.
Yeah.
Not afraid of taking the fight. Global Silence going to be back up in a couple of seconds. They've got the Doom ready. He's TPing out, ready to join them. 1W's got to be careful. And it looks like they will lose their Willow. Can they get anything more here? Morel on the hunt. He's going to find the second support. Gets the grab onto Kasani. Kasani coming in with the Moonlight Shadow to get away, but looks he's in with the dust, in with the lasso. Make sure they get themselves a second.
Yellow Submarine also reading the moves pretty well. It's not easy for one win to catch them. They have gotten a couple of single pick-offs, but the more impactful team fights seem to be going way of Yellow Submarine. They're always ready as 5 when they need to be, and they're set up here onto Timber. He does have Aghanims though.
That's pretty tanky. Oh, Sweden strong, trying with the jump in, but won't get the Bramble connection.
Still pretty close game overall though. A lot of this network is a little bit inflated because of the Doom hero, right? And it really does come down to the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Which team can, if any team can manage to win the team fight and then pull ahead in that way.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, because both teams, I mean, I guess more so 1W, they have this very strong team fight between like the Magnus, the Dark Willow and the Tiny. Whereas Yellow Submarine very much have kind of pretty hot counter team fight when it comes to like the Global Silence or Doom catching a key target at the beginning. They can put a stop to the play.
Yeah, the silencer is really a big issue for one win in this game. We have been talking about it a lot this game, but it cannot be undervalued how much this global is going to do in this game.
Now 1W looking to at least avoid fights, I'd imagine, until they get the BKB done on Squadix. Just a few hundred gold away from having that completed. And as for Munkushi's progress, yeah, he's also pretty much got his done. So they're going to have this timing now with the two BKBs picked up on Munkushi and Squadix, because they already have one on SSS. So they're going to have the triple BKBs ready to go for the next team fight on the cause of 1W.
We're going to go through the gate here and might potentially catch the tiny.
Dire are scanning.
But actually, one winner all in the vicinity. So maybe we could see a fight coming through here. There's also a Mirana ult. So maybe they are anticipating this type of movement a little bit. Yeah, they do, because they all have a ward top, so they know the skate play is coming.
He's leading in first. He gets a nasty surprise there. I mean, at the least we'll get the information for the other two to get out of that.
Yeah, that's probably almost best case scenario, that you just lose one guy there, because that was a very nice setup for one win. They had a ward on top lane, so they saw all this movement coming through. They knew exactly what was happening. Now they're going to set up on maybe the Doom here. But again, this, I think that they had a ward as well, so Doom knows this movement as well. So very key wards being placed here from both teams. A lot of vision around this river as well, so Yellow Submarine setting up something here. Run out.
Got the jump. See how much they want to push this now, Yellow Submarine. Trying to sweep over, see if they can get any information from the jungle of 1W. Morel and Inferno still very ready to fight.
Another thing to consider in this game, just in general, is that both teams have such insane catch and burst in this game that it's the vision game becomes so important. Like, if anyone is out of position, they can get blink lassoed, storm jump, doomed, right? Timbersaw burst. On the other side, you have RP, you have Skewer, you have Tiny, you have Mirana ult, Ursa follow up. So it's it really is very easy to die in this game, and yeah, it makes it a lot harder to play for both teams, because you can just explode if you're out of position for just a second.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Roshan is back up now. So 1W. Amjid. We'll see actually the jump being made here. Kasani getting caught again. He's going to get one of the leaps off, but won't save him.
Yep, again the ward spotting him out, and they immediately jumped the gun.
Yes, obviously Yellow Submarine, one of the downsides of their job, doesn't quite have the easy Roche taking potential, at least. And they could sort of tank for the Roche, but they can't really take it down super quickly, not the same way as 1W can if they get the setup for such an objective. They've got the full basher now on Munkushi. Still very much keeping up here on the Ursa. It's going to be looking for the MKB next. I've got RP up.
Yeah. Again, a good ward for the one win round, spotting the entrance to Roche. Arcane room for Storm, that's massive.
It's difficult for 1W to fight into this, even if they do have the ultimates. It's not easy to get a good read of how to get the jump unless they get lucky and sort of find something like a silencer or a Doom at the front of the fight. There's the smoke from Yellow Submarine.
Dire are scanning.
1W, the scan's going to hit, so they know 1W's up here. And then they're going to jump straight away. The lasso perfectly onto Munkushi there. Fantastic initiation coming in. And they're going to be able to clean up the supports on top of it. Straight away there, Lupsi finds his target immediately.
Yeah, very, very big, very like smelling the blood completely there for Batrider, right? Going straight for the Ursa, ignoring the Willow. Same for Doom, right? Just going straight through with the BKB, dooms him up, and how do you play Willow as well? You don't even need to focus this. You will just die to random AoE spells. Right? Timbersaw, the Curse, the Storm Spirit spells.
We got Bottega.
They didn't even... Yeah, he got it.
I'm going to try and make the play top of Shikoda. He's got the glimmer, but the dust is there. So Shikoda will die. Not quite able to get the drag back onto Lupsi, so he'll avoid this move from 1W. And Yellow Submarine, they can now put the pressure onto the bottom lane and the mid lane with all those TPs that they know just came out from 1W to get that kill against Shikoda top. And Infernal and Lupsi look like they're hovering around. They've got the lasso back up, so Lupsi could go for another grab. And he's going to get it. Gets the drag back kill. Simon Cushy trying help out jumping in. Actually, Kazani's going to be able to live this time. Turns around the arrow. Bottega caught in the brambles, but he will have his second life coming in with the Aegis. They'll skewer back Infernal. RP comes out, locks down the two of them. They've killed Infernal off. They're going to get Bottega as well. A massive fight from 1W. They're not even a buyback. Global silence from Shikoda can save or rectify. 1W, that's a big fight to take there. Taking the Aegis out of their hands and getting those 2 kills quickly after it.
Yeah.
This time, Lupsi's jump with the lasso not working out quite as well as before. 1W Munkushi, he was more than ready to fight.
Yeah, I think maybe Kazane also was like, guys, please help me out here if they jump me, you know, and actually anticipating this move and making sure his team was ready, because like if he just gets to be killed again there, you know, that's giving too much respect and too much, well, not respect, but like letting Yellow Submarine do whatever they want in this game. So nice punish from 1-win here. They also lost the gem that was being purchased up by the Silencer. So Silencer also buys back, lost the gem now. So his game is completely ruined from having such an amazing time, and now he's by far the bottom net worth. So that was a very big turnaround.
And I guess it's sort of hard to read those situations, but I imagine that the tip was being thrown away of Shikoda at the end of that as well, because maybe if he came in a bit quicker with the buyback global, it could have given sort of the chance for them to run and get away from the RP, but yeah, just ended up coming out after sort of the big spells had been thrown down anyway.
Yeah, suddenly this game is looking very different, right? We got the BKBs now on all the cores of 1-win, so the global is not as effective anymore. Ursa is really farmed now, almost MTV. The fact that you also get the BKBs means that the damage output for Yellow Submarine is very low now, right? It's pretty much only the Doom that's going to deal damage. Timbersaw damage mostly negligible, and Batrider, same thing. Storm.
Some good momentum here for 1W. How much can they do with it though? Down towards the bottom. Making this move, see if SSS can get the jump. Already though, Lupsi's out. Morale, he's not going to stick around any longer than he needs to. Turning out to be a much closer game than game 1. This time 1W absolutely with a fighting chance. With what we've seen from them in the last couple of team fight plays.
I would maybe even call them favorites now a little bit after what just happened. I think it's a lot harder now for Yellow Submarine to actually 5-on-5.
Yeah, they're getting easy grabs now. 1W.
But this triple BKB is a big issue for Yellow Submarine.
That's crazy amount of damage on Tiny with his Daedalus Echo. As we're saying, you know, even some of the tanky targets aren't guaranteed to survive the burst if he's got sort of a +1 nearby.
Yeah, Empower as well. This guy is gigantic now.
With the Hex on Infernal, so a little bit of a better way for them to find the lockdown themselves without having to commit some of the bigger ultimates.
We have a Hex up on Storm now, by the way. So that's a big item that could potentially catch them off guard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Now Willow dies to the Tormentor, so maybe this is an opening to actually smoke up and make something happen.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, with the double hex between the two of them, this could be a
Don't
good time
actually
to
have
make a move.
smoke. It seems okay. There's smoke coming out on Courier now, but there's actually a nice ward here on the mid lane, so they're gonna be able to spot this, I think.
And because yeah, seeing the smoke, do you just avoid the smoke, or do you try and set up yourself to punish it?
I mean, maybe you can wait for the Willow and then set something up, counter smoke yourself. You do have a double damage on Tiny right now, but the fact that Willow is dead means that you'd probably rather just wait. Yeah. Okay, they're actually gonna move out a bit here.
Able to get in position on the high ground.
Bit awkward position for Yellow Submarine, I would say, because they're not actually 5 if there's a fight to start. And the Mirana ult was used, so you're not gonna have that for the fight.
There's the smoke again.
They saw the silence and hit a sentry, so
And Morel is calling out, but the BKB comes out. The global comes out as well to stop the initial attempt with the RP, and they get the Hex down on Munkushi. Munkushi caught out by the Hex reveal as the Ursa's gone for 80 seconds. They'll put the BKBs on Squadix and SSS. They'll try and step in, but he has to skewer away. They've got to run here now, 1W. Without their carry, there's no fight to be had. As they're on the retreat, SSS is going to get caught again by these Hexes. I mean, that fight, it absolutely just is completely destroyed by the fact that, yeah, the Hex reveal from the Storm and the Hex reveal from the Timber, it just catches the two big cores off guard.
yeah, it does. And again, the global silence coming in very clutch there, right? If Storm gets RP'd right away, he will just die. There's no saving him. But just that fraction of a second, global link, interrupting that jump so Storm can jump out and not get RP'd. Maybe he actually just sipped fast enough. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a combination of the two, but yeah, it shows how important that initiation is. If Yellow Submarine gets to initiate any of the BKB cores, you know, suddenly they're not that scary. It's swinging back into their favor now. What else can they get out of the map? Tier 2? I guess that's it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Got a full AC now on Bottega, ready to help for the team fights and the push. Can look to stick around and try and finish the tier 2 top. They've got the creep wave coming in.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And should I guess, yeah, with the respawns, it's getting a bit spooky because there's still the RP up. So as soon as they're back out on the map, they can look to try and fight again 1W. They're just going to have to be that much more prepared to be in with the BKB pressing before they close in on some of these targets. They're ready with the hexes.
Yeah, whoever starts the fight, they're starting the fight in this game in general is just so important because there's so much follow-up damage.
Yeah, good holding back there. Nearly got baited by an illusion room play, but you know, they kept their cool. 1W, they knew what was going on. The other submarine's still sticking around. Got the global, they've got the doom. Everything's back up for themselves as well. There's the jump.
They got the Doom top.
The horn toss in the drag back, but the lasso's there. Drags SSS away. Gives the chance for Bottega to pop the BKB and walk this off. Infernal's ready to dive in. They'll pop the global. They'll drop the Doom onto SSS. Both him and Sweden Strong dead. The buyback comes out from Sweden Strong off to the side. They've got the vortex control onto Squadix. Squadix has to put the BKB on terminal the avalanche of the tree tosses over towards Lupsi. Lupsi will get finished off, as they will at least manage to take down both Lupsi and Bottega in return. So biting back a little bit there this time, 1W, after the initial losses.
Yeah, okay, nice setup for Infernal there, forcing this fight. You can see how little it takes for one guy to be out of position, and then there's an instant jump. Also good stuff by Lupsi being ready with the counter lasso. If Doom got, isolated there, he might have just died.
Sweden Strong. He's gone in. He's got the bit of the setup. They get the arrow onto Morel. Is there any way to get Morel out of this one? There's not. He's caught in the full combo. That's Morel dead. So I think he's going for anything more. Morel does have the option of buyback if he wants to get over and help out, but there's no helping Infernal. He gets torn to shreds by the Ursa.
Okay, I mean, this is a this is a bad situation now for Yellow Submarine, right? Feeding away 4 heroes there. Suddenly, 1 win in a dominant position. Suddenly they're the ones looking at a tier 2.
That's getting pretty out of control now. Level 24 here on Munkushi. They're going to be able to take down this mid tower. See how much more they want to push for. So yeah, nearly a full minute without the Timber Storm, without the Storm in play. They can get a lot done here, 1W. Get these next round of items done. He's very close to the Sanjins, the Abyssal Blade for Ursa. And Jakoda just trying to find what farm he can get out on the map. Trying to get at least this refresher online so he can come into play with the double ult. And Roshan's up. And they're in position to take this. And Cushy heads over. So it should be a freebie here for 1W.
Yeah, did see them win a fight before. Or something, but I would still say it's overall much more difficult for them to get the right fight going. It pretty much has to come from either Storm or Batrotter finding that initial target. Maybe with a Hex first, but the big teamfight spells are in the hands of 1Win. By the way, this Roshan moving across might make it a little awkward for them if Yellow Submarine managed to get over.
Yeah, I'll pick it up all for now, Munkushi. We'll pass the refresher shot over towards SSS, so we'll have the potential of the double RP, double BKB ready to come in from him on the Magnus. Very difficult.
There's so much damage on 1Win now. Yeah. Like the tiny Ursa, like they just kill people so fast. Even the cores, in Tempest or even Doom, like it's so scary. You get clipped by any stun, you might just get 100-0 here.
For this moment, whilst 1W have this Aegis on Munkushi, I'd imagine Yellow Submarine, they're just going to try and avoid the fights completely. Doesn't look appealing to sort of get dragged into the action whilst 1W have this strength. So 1W should be able to push bottom. They're probably going to be able to take the tier 2. They might be able to start poking at the high ground, see what sort of reaction they get out of Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, this game couldn't go very long because it's kind of hard for either team to go high ground. I think it's also very hard to even approach the enemy base just by the nature of what we talked about. The fact that both teams has all this way of starting the fight and has so much damage within their draft. So it's more likely if both teams want to play this very safe that they all farm buybacks and it all collapses into some kind of giant fight later on. Of course, there's also a chance that both teams just clash in a fight and nobody has buybacks and the game ends. But it seems very, very difficult for either team to go high ground against what you're looking at. Against Mag, against Bat, Storm, these heroes, you don't want to go high ground against that, even with the Aegis.
I'm going to swing over to the top side of the map. Yellow Submarine, they are smoked in position here. They're going to know someone's in the pit. Oh, what a jump! SSS goes straight away with the RP. He's going to get lassoed, though. Pop the refresher trying to go for a second round, but that lasso from Lupsi trips up the entire combo. Big stuff there coming in again from the bat, which did just sort of save his team from getting caught in a second sort of triple three-man RP. They could have bought time for the rest of 1W to clean up, so Lupsi stopping the combo.
Yeah, very big from the supports. They have ward still, so they see the silencer. This team fight, I don't even get it silencer.
Yeah, they're not going to get Jakoda. Okay, maybe with the jump here from Squadix they will, and indeed the damage coming out from this tiny terrifying for the silencer and for the bat as both supports get cleaned up very quickly by that jump from Squadix. The buyback from SSS did come in. A little unnecessarily in the old sort of grand scheme of things, but maybe still as 5 they can still try and push for something. They've still got 3 minutes on the Aegis, and they've now got a full minute where there's 3 heroes dead on Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, so this is the moment where you can definitely go high ground, start hitting some building, maybe force some buybacks. You know there's no global, you still have the RP on the mag, right, from the refresher shot earlier?
Yep.
Still got the Aegis. Tiny is so strong here. He's gonna chew through these buildings very quickly. We'll see it now.
They're holding off on the buybacks. They're just gonna let this mid-rax go. Problem is 1W. They could go. They want to go for second. Well? Yeah, I mean they look like they're pulling away from it. I thought they might have at least tried to get away with that, but I guess playing it careful here, 1W.
I did see them play yesterday as well, and they played it very carefully. Oh, Skewer. Missing.
Yeah, the good old Outworld staff there. Making things a little bit slipperier.
Feels like they definitely could have gone for more there, but again, it is a little bit slippery into these heroes, into buybacks. You know, you get stuck in the base and people are spawning, and then you get jumped by a Doom, by a Storm. Getting put into an awkward position where you cannot get out of there anymore, and you're forced into some bad fight. And you throw the lead that you just got again, right? So definitely keeping it safe here.
Now ready to start looking at taking that final tier 2 tower, 1W. Yellow Submarine. Do they want to risk a fight outside of the base? Probably going to let the tier 2 go down at least and wait to see what happens on the high ground. And Cushy finishes the tower, very close to having the money for a swift blink. If he wants to spend up, and still just a minute left here on the Aegis. Smoked up behind him, 1W.
Could hit a bit here, but okay, Lotus Orb does help in this case a lot. Running out now though, could they go on the Bat Rider maybe?
So the call from Lupsi's going to be.
Yeah. So warding the base here. Sure, you're not just gonna let the Rexes go here. That seems.
I mean, on the
Bat Rider gets jumped now.
Yeah, Lupsi gets found. Look at the Yules off, but the damage from the tree, 1800 crit coming into the end, and the Timber's getting jumped as well there by Munkushi. The buyback will come out from Lupsi. They had to use the global silence. Munkushi will back off for now. Good caught by the Hex. He's in the BKB block. He's in with the RP. But again, these lassos, every single time comes in to trip him up, but it might not matter because the damage has already been done. Munkushi clears through the Doom. Another buyback coming out here from Bottega. They're trying to hold on to this defense. They'll kill Squad X off. Can they get more? Zip forward over with Munkushi. Has to keep that distance from the bear. The Hex comes in on towards him. He kills off Inferno, but the bear will fall. Munkushi to die. As he died pretty much, I think, at the moment that the Aegis was expiring. So perfectly timed there from Yellow Submarine. They hold the defense. It is a three-man buyback that has to come out for it. But it does work. They keep the bottom racks alive. And they just strike at the perfect time. And again, it's sort of these disruptive plays here from the back. You know, the first up he comes out, Lupsi, he's just waiting for this Magnus every single time.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to buy Lincolns or something. It's definitely being a problem for him to get lasso straight after the RP. He got the perfect RP on 3 people and feeling really good about himself, and Bad just stops it. But yeah, that's the problem generally about going high ground. Look at this from Storm, very aggressive here.
They're going to get a catch. He's
Nicely
dead for
done by
100
him.
seconds.
No fear at all, yeah. 5-man death. What are you going to do now? You're going to have to buy back on some very key heroes here too if you want to hold this game, I think.
This is
going to go Throne here?
I mean, they're going to try and get the
definitely
buybacks.
Force it.
They've just picked up a refresher as well onto Shikoda, so he's got double silence. It's naturally going to be up
There's
to...
no buyback here though. So if he dies, it could also be grim, but...
They do have fortification ready. Oh, these tier
I'm gonna wait
4s
till
are
the
gone.
last second here because you're gonna try to bait them into thinking maybe they're just gonna hold the buybacks actually.
Now,
On the tiny
Munkushi
at
has to
least.
use it. Munkushi.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, but yeah, big stuff from Yellow Submarine there on that punch back. Very worth the buybacks on their defense. As you know, moments ago, this was 1W sort of knocking at the doors of Yellow Submarine. I mean, Yellow Submarine, they're still sticking around. They still know they're 5
Willow's
versus
dead
4. If
for a
they
long
get a
time.
catch, so eyes on Lupsi really to make the jump. And 1W,
He sees
know,
the tiny, doesn't he?
they've got to sit right back. Whoever shows could be in trouble.
They're picking out the ward though.
Oh! Okay, there's the Hex. I mean, they've got the catch on a Squad Eggs. They pop the door, they're in. The RP trying to come out, but they refresh it.
Refresher.
Silence comes in clutch. Stops any potential RP coming out for SSS. It's Munkushi's dead without buyback. SSS also dead without buyback. Squad X trying to fight back. He'll get the toss onto Bottega, but he can't quite get him back into the
They're
fountain.
hitting the throne.
Oh, Inferno ends up in the fountain. He'll drag himself back out. And indeed, they're ready to end it. They know there aren't the buybacks available. They
They're
can
gonna
just hit
end
the
it.
throne, look to end the game, get the win. They're going to have
Oh
it.
my
They
God.
just typed something. I don't even know what that says. I hope it's not.